All right, folks, really, think of it this way. With a $2.1 trillion spending cut, that's the largest of its kind, according to the CBO, and an FY24 budget cut from FY23 of about $139 billion. That's below the Biden and the CBO baseline. $139 billion cut for next year. And then a tough, across-the-board 1% spending cut sequester if appropriators don't maintain the agreed-upon 1% cap on spending, plus a number of pro-growth policy reforms. Well, I would say Republicans and conservatives should support the Fiscal Responsibility Act negotiated by Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Joe Biden. I mean, in divided government, compromises are necessary. The debt deal is not as good as the original Limit, Save, Grow bill, but I think Speaker McCarthy probably got about 70% of what he wanted, which is awfully good. Actually, it's a resounding victory for the Republican House because it completely spun around Joe Biden. Remember, Biden wanted a clean debt bill with no budget reforms. He argued that for almost 100 days. And all of a sudden this past weekend, he agreed to a massive spending cut and huge policy reforms. I would call that a major political victory for the GOP. It's the first step toward reforming the entire federal government. Other steps are going to follow, including a House budget resolution. More spending cuts are on the way. More pro-growth policies are on the way. All you need is a Republican Senate and a Republican in the White House. It's easy. I think that's coming. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. That, according to British writer John Haywood, who wrote that in 1538. I knew him well. That was a joke. Mr. Haywood wrote that the Romans were, and I'll quote, laying bricks every hour, end quote. So I would say to some of my very good conservative friends, I understand your trepidation about the debt deal. I always respect your point of view. I usually share your legislative instincts, but on this one, I think we have a chance to restore conservative governance and a prosperous economic agenda, brick by brick, day by day, hour by hour. Now, here it is from the Speaker himself.
I'm not sure what in the bill people are concerned about. It is the largest savings of $2.1 trillion we've ever had. It's the first time in history the largest rescissions, where we're pulling money back from the hardworking taxpayers that are going to China. Are they opposed to work requirements for welfare?
All right. Now, besides the spending cuts and the sequestration with no regular budget order, the work requirements and the NEPA permitting reforms are very important pro-growth measures to promote work and reopen the fossil fuel spigots. Also, the $1.9 billion IRS enforcement money was taken out of this coming fiscal year budget, just taken out. Student loan payments will be restarted to the tune of $5 billion a month, and Joe Biden's massive regulatory assault on energy and business will be stopped with a pay-go provision that says any executive branch regulatory costs must be offset by regulatory cost reduction. By the way, Biden's modern socialism regulatory assault has cost something in the neighborhood of $1.5 trillion. And let's not forget there are no tax hikes, period, full stop. So I think this is a political win for Republicans and conservatives. It's a fiscal win. It's a free market capitalism win. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Save America. Pass the bill. And that's my take.